reflection of God. When you look in the mirror, look for the reflection. God is there. Love is there. Perfection is there. Go beyond the skin. Go beyond the shape of your face. Go beyond the resemblance that you may have to others. Go beyond everything that you've labeled yourself with. Go beyond. Every time you've looked in the mirror and criticism slips out or did, go beyond. Or if you're looking in the mirror and trying to boost your own morale to feel better, go beyond. The calling is to go beyond the pain that has been made in this world. The calling is to go beyond the fear that has run everyone's life. The call is to go beyond grievances, go beyond differences, go beyond male, female, go beyond the stories that you carried in your suitcases, that you took everywhere with you. Drop them now. Leave them behind. Don't take them with you. They have no worth. The going beyond is the necessity from everyone's life being a life filled with difficulties and fear. You may think, no, there's a lot of people in this world that are just dandy happy. Go beyond. And you begin to see the story that everyone holds. Go beyond the comparisons. There's nothing that is worth keeping that has been self made. Beyond the self made is the reflection of God, the perfection, the eternal, the light, the wisdom, the creativity. Everything is that is true comes from the divine. And it's that discovery that you're here for. Go beyond. When I feel this pain inside and I find nowhere to hide, Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. This sorrow now imprisons me. Somehow I need to be set free. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Heal me of my hurt and fear. Reveal the face of God so near. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. As I move toward the light, defend me from the dark of night. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Thank you for the love you give. In compassion for your Son I live. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Imagine that this is the first time that you hear a hymn that is speaking directly to the Divine Mother and the Divine Father. And the direct speaking is the yearning, the longing, sometimes the wishful thinking in the past, the fantasies of being not who you think you are. The journey from the past is a strange journey. It's a journey that doesn't really make any sense when you're in it, or it's hard to find the sense. You grow up, and when I say that every life is basically the same, it is. Everyone has taken liberty with the idea of more and less, trying to make sense with more and less. I am more afraid than almost anybody, but I am less afraid than some. There's no comparisons. Fear is fear is fear is fear. The beginning of fear says, I have you. You're mine. I will show you a life, and you will live a life, but it will be a life of fear. And the fantasies that start are to try to make sense out of something that doesn't make any sense. So you start to fantasize, even to the point where you fantasize that possibly your real parents are going to show up, and you're going to find out that everything was just a lie, and the real life will show up day in and day out, waiting for the fantasy to take and change something. And it doesn't. But there comes a moment when the spiritual journey, the spiritual essence touches you somehow. And a new life is offered. The true life is offered through that first time communication that you have never had with anyone or anything where you have been in an honesty of splaying yourself in truth to the divine. Go into the closet to meet with God, because that is where your life begins. That is where the lie ends. But as almost everyone that has walked the spiritual journey recognizes, now there's a quandary. We spend the first half of life fantasizing about a different life. And then when a different life is offered through the power of the divine, we resist. We say no. I want to live again the life that I lived before for the first half. I want to keep all of that. I want to keep my name. I want to keep my age. I want to keep my identity. I want to keep my story. I want to keep what I know. And it's the strangest thing, because half of the life was spent praying without knowing that you were praying for a different life, for a life of love, a life without judgment, a life where nobody needs to judge, and where you feel safe in every moment when you have never felt safe before. But yet, the safety isn't enough to let go of the fantasy life and the nightmare of the everyday. It's important to recognize the insanity that we carry when we resist love, when we resist taking off the costume that we've been wearing with an identity. And it doesn't even matter how much terror you carry. You don't want to let go of those suitcases with all of your past. It isn't that you don't ever want to let go, but it's almost like it comes and goes. You get an inspiration to make that deep connection, and then when you maybe touch into it, it gets terrifying, because in that place you're no more in control than you were in the first half. The true secret is that there's never any control. Control is a myth. It's chased after, and it's schemed with to get control. But it really never matches what you truly want out of it, the control. The most incredible element, though, is that when you touch with God, the need for control can disappear, because unlike the past, you recognize that love is here and that you are love. and all of the agendas of the world, they start to disappear. And forgiveness comes like a warm coat. And you can wrap yourself in that forgiveness as you let go of all the knowing that you carried. God's will is happiness. Have you ever known anyone whose will was happiness, especially in the first half? God's will is happiness. That's all that's in your future is happiness because it's what you are. But you can't bring the suitcases with you. You can't bring the identity with you because it really has nothing of reality. Nothing. Why is that such a threat? Because it is. It's taken as a threat. Can't take anything with you because it doesn't have any reality. Why is that so frightening? Why do we cower and try to hold on to the past? That's what's really essential, is to recognize it's not you that you're holding on to. It's a false identification. It's a false image. And it's pain that was never meant to be your reality and could never be your reality. It's the question of why cling, and why do we try to make better images of the painful images that we carried? It's it just doesn't compute how many times you try to make a better image of the past. And you can't make a better image out of it. The only thing that you can do is to bring complete love and healing to the past. No longer trying to get anything, but only there to bring a cleansing love to the whole story. Not wanting to repeat the past, but wanting it to be God's reality now, and everything will fall away. Really, if you can touch into that place that defends and tries to hold on to the past, that in your nightmares you vowed that you wouldn't hold on to it, that you wouldn't be that anymore. And God answers that. The only part that's missing, it's not really missing, but it's not part of the situation, is the misunderstanding of being rescued. The rescue element comes from the belief that God made our past and that we were the victims of that. I am not a victim of the world I see is one of the paramount teachings because it holds so much distortion in it. We cannot be victims of a trance. It can feel like it for sure, but it's not the truth. The burden of believing that you are a victim is a heavy, heavy weight that has no value, not in the slightest. It's so familiar. The victim of the past is so familiar. You can't be a child in a child's body with a child's mind and not believe that there are others that are running the world. And all the while, the second half of life is the calling from God and the hearing that call. And as you step closer and closer to the divine, all of the fears have to fall away. And all of the ideas have to fall away. The good, the bad, the ugly, all the comparisons, all the sense of differences, all the competition, everything that comes in every type of fear. And you're called. Not just called to show up, but you're called to transform back into the light that you truly are. And letting the past go. It can't be a partner. And it's the everyday gratitude that remembers, oh, I'm not waking up in the same place. I'm not waking up in the past. There's here, there's now, there's love. The past can truly fall away. And only the love that was hidden underneath will remain. I look deep into my heart, to the core where wisdom arises. Wisdom comes from the unnameable and unifies heaven and earth. The unnameable is always with you, shining from the depths of your heart. God's peace will keep you untroubled even in the greatest pain. When you find love present within you, you find truth in every moment. God will guard you and show you the way. He will guide your feet. He will temper your youth with patience, and He will crown your old age with fulfillment. And you will eventually leave the body as effortlessly as a sigh. The discovery of your eternal spirit. It's here. It's complete. It has always been complete. It is the light of God that is here, and it is your divine spirit. And all of the thousands of days and nights that you wanted a new life, that you wanted to discover that something that you knew had to be here somehow. It's here now. The divine is here listening for your communication, attentive to you at all times, with love that is so all encompassing that we cannot even fathom the greatness of love, the power that you have is the perfection of love. At any moment, and we never know when the moment is, it's the realization that comes because you have prepared the garden. The preparation of the garden is the everyday journey where you're throwing out the rocks, the weeds, the misperceptions, the mistakes, throwing them all out and finding that richness of eternal life that is in the garden. That's your preparation. That's your choosing in every moment. The first half had no choice that you could find. Maybe you could eke out little choices here and there. But now you have the choice of the universe. You've always had it. We've always had it. But when you're in the first half, you don't know it's there. But now that choice calls to you in every moment. Every moment is a choice. The idea that choice just comes along every once in a while is a mistake. Every breath is a choice. Every thought is a choice. At first, it's like being in boot camp because all the choice seems to be like, oh, I have to throw out everything I've made up. And then it becomes easier and easier and easier because the resistance is no longer dominant. As long as the resistance plays its game, the difficulty shows itself. As Jose would always say, it's not the healing that is difficult, it is your resistance to it. And every time I would hear that, it was like a gift from God because I could change my mind And everybody has that. Everybody has that. Oh, seeker, these thoughts have such power over you. From nothing, you become sad. From nothing, you can become happy. You are burning in the flames, and I will not let you out until you are fully baked, fully wise, and fully yourself. When I spoke the other day of the apple cart being turned over, or tossed over, I will not let you out until all the apples have been exchanged for the divine truth. The apple cart's the same as the suitcases, and there's nothing to have to hold on to. It really doesn't take that much to celebrate when your apple cart turns over. It's only what you've waited for lifetimes. And it's what you prayed for in some way in the first half. You didn't know necessarily, none of us knew what we were really praying for. We just wanted out, rescue. But what we discovered is far greater than any rescue, because rescue has no power. Rescue has no possibility, because at some point we all have to look at the past, forgive ourselves for a loyalty that was not loving, a loyalty to fear. These thoughts have such power over you. From nothing, you become sad. The agreements, the beliefs, throw them all into the bonfire of love and really let the first half go. Give it to God. Give every beloved that was in the past, give them all to God. And truly want to learn who these beloveds really were, who they really are. Throw the roles into the bonfire of love. Throw the agreements into the bonfire of love. Throw the battle for top position into the bonfire of love. Throw the proving into the fire of love. Throw all suspicion into the fire of love. Suspicion is has a strange relationship. The thing about suspicion is that usually the suspicion is from within, because we've never learned to trust, because we had nothing to trust, because we didn't make an identity that recognized trust. But now, trust in the divine. Trust in every teaching. Drink it in and take it in like it's your last meal or your first meal, either one. But take it in and celebrate that you can take it in. You're burning in the flames, and I will not let you out until you're fully baked. This is not a death sentence. This is a life sentence of love. Fully baked in the truth of who you truly are. Fully baked as the divine light of God. I won't let you out until you're fully baked. It doesn't say anything in here that you would put yourself in that baking place. But that's the one leap that we have to take. Cook me until I'm so cooked that there's no resemblance left of anything of the first half. Not because it was uniquely terrible, but it matches all the beliefs of the world and all the fears of death. And now it's the acceptance that eternal life is all that there is. And you really don't want to take the first half and live it again instead of eternal life. The garden of love is waiting. It's all around you, it's within you. It's with you when you sleep at night, and it's with you when you wake up. But let it lead. Let the divine within you lead. Hold the hand of the divine and follow. I will not let you out until you are fully baked, fully wise, and fully yourself. Fully yourself. There's one thing that we can't do in the spiritual journey. We cannot declare when we're cooked. We cannot declare when we are baked. We give that to God. It's God's celebration. And then we discover that we're fully baked because God has touched us and held us and baked us. We are so loved. That everything actually does disappear. That was never true. Fully yourself. The glory of that truth. And the realization that when you are fully yourself, you can still walk in the world unnoticed, even as you're blessing each beloved with your open heart. You can walk down any street unnoticed. And yet the blessings pour through. These thoughts have such power over you, but they don't have to. From today, the first half is in the bonfire of love. And the divine communication of love clings in your heart. There was a teaching when Jesus walked the earth where it was nobody could find him. He was a child and nobody could find him. And they looked everywhere and finally they found him sitting in the church, the temple. And someone, whoever found him, said, "What, what, what are you? Everybody's looking for you. We were all worried." And that child said, "I am in the house of my Father. I'm with my Father." That clarity, that's in your heart. That's within you. It's just been held as a fear. I'm with my Father. I'm speaking to my Father, Mother, Divine. Let that temple be in your heart and that communication be there all the time because it's the only real communication. The communication of God is waiting to come through you, to be the voice for the divine with everyone that you meet, to be the representation of God's grace, to share the second half, the endless, forever life of love. Let my song give blessings and insight to those who can't see for themselves. And let the truth always shine from the depths of your heart. This is who you are. Let your song give blessings and insight to those who can't see for themselves yet. We are blessed in every moment. When you wake up in the morning, thank God, only love is real. Thank God. The past is gone. Thank God. Thank God.